Assalamu alaikum, my good students. Thank you very much for your emails and for your messages. I actually read all the messages and I came to know that you are in need of, because in the last BS English first paper about study skills, we finished first chapter, questions of first chapter. And now there was a demand, students are asking that I should upload second chapter questions. So today I have now prepared a video for you with my PPT slide, so you can be able to read. This is free YouTube channel. You can enjoy and see, and uh, you can be able to get knowledge, and in the exam you can be able to write very nicely. So let me share the screen. I can show you the second chapter. So if you can see here, this one is second chapter. Chapter 2, the second chapter is motivate yourself to study. Okay, it has the the introduction. How can you motivate your studies? There are 10 ways to motivate yourself to study. Acknowledge your self resistance and difficult feeling with motivation. Okay, do not run away. Do not blame yourself for procrastination now and then. Try to understand your studying style better. Don't question your abilities. Visualize yourself starting. Focus on the task at hand. Do not run away. Do not blame yourself for procrastination now and then. If you think procrastination is difficult, you can add delay. Okay. Try to understand your studying style better. So these are the 10 tips for motivate yourself for this chapter. Now we go step by step. If you go to this slide now, motivate yourself. There are some 10 other ways I have. For example, if you find that you lack the motivation of study, welcome to our this group. Our, just about every student experiences this one time or another. Motivation is important for good studying. When you are motivated, you will find it easy to stay focused over a period of time. When you are not motivated, you will not only find it difficult to stay focused, but you will find it difficult to get started in the first place. So you should try to understand. Here I have 10 ways to increase your motivation to study. How can you increase your motivation? Okay, so that's actually the question. We are at the definition of motivate yourself to study of second chapter of your study skills, paper one, semester one. Number one, how can you increase your motivation to study? Number one, reward yourself for studying. For example, after a successful study session, have a treat like a nice big ice cream cone. Go crazy and add some cherries and nuts. Study with your friends. Don't make it party time, but you can have fun as you do this. Remind yourself for your long-term goals. Achievement of your goals likely requires educational success. Educational success requires studying. Eliminate distractions. If you are surrounded by things you would rather do than study, you'll probably do those things instead of studying. Develop interest in what you have to study. This will make studying more enjoyable. Take breaks when you feel that you need to take a break. Try to stop at point where it is logical to stop. This will make it easier to you to resume studying after your break. Establish a comfortable environment. You will be more inclined to study if you feel comfortable. Establish reasonable goals for a study session. You probably won't get very far if you look at your study session as mission impossible. Number nine, use a motivational poster. Place the poster where you can see it as you study. The poster should include positive words and a picture depicting success. You can buy one or even make your own. You can also read inspirational stories about real people who have achieved success through efforts. Number 10, just do it. Once you do, you will feel a lot better than if you are worried about getting it done. So this is, I told you. Now, this was the definition of chapter 2, which I finished. Now look at the next slide. Now for chapter 2, motivates yourself to study. We have question 1. What is question 1? Academic strengths and weaknesses. So you must know what is academic strength, what is academic weakness, and how can you improve your weaknesses? How can you increase your strengths? So this as a student, you must know academic strengths and weaknesses of student. What are academic strengths? You must understand. Academic strengths are traits and skills that serve students as strong foundation to excel academically. Academic strengths include curiosity, creativity, imagination, critical thinking, organization, time management, delayed gratification, and impulse control. You can increase it by 7 ways. Curiosity, having an inquisitive nature, is a strength for a student. Organization, the organization is an important academic strength. If you are not organized, you cannot make your notes, you cannot arrange your study, your chapter, your questions, you cannot be able to prepare your exam. Self-learners, independent learning is a trait that helps one throughout their life. Weaknesses, every student has weaknesses. You have to control over your weaknesses. Lack of focus, that's also a weakness. Procrastination, you have to not to delay the things. You should be stronger enough. Fear of failure. You should not feel fear of failure. You should be very strong for your studies. Okay. Now, question one is continued. Before this, I discussed strengths. Now I'm discussing what are the examples of academic weaknesses. Okay. These are the academic weaknesses, 6 weaknesses: poor time management, procrastination, negative response to criticism, extreme inappropriate stress, okay, getting easily frustrated, lacking interest, poor organization skills. This one, negative response to criticism, when try to understand, my good student, when somebody is criticizing you, he is actually helping you to understand your weaknesses, okay? Don't be angry. Okay, don't panic on his criticism. You should enjoy that he is pointing out your weaknesses, and these are the areas you have to be very careful. Okay, so generally, question one related to these things, I made it in a slide. Academic strength on this side, academic weaknesses on this side. What are the strengths you see? Accuracy, brevity, clarity, creative, determined, determined, disciplined, dedicated, enthusiastic, flexible, honest. Weaknesses: multitasking, too much, self-criticism, too detail-oriented, overthinking, analytical, perfectional, introverted, easily overwhelmed, procrastinator, sensitive. So these are the weaknesses. Okay. Next question is question 2 for chapter 2. Chapter 2 is motivate yourself to study. For first paper, first semester of BS English. Okay, paper 1, uh, study skills. Chapter 2, motivate yourself to study. Question 2, discover and use your learning style. Identifying your learning style, what is the definition? First, you must understand. Identifying your learning style involves understanding how you tend to learn best. You can use this information to use advantage when you study by using learning approaches that work well for you, such as writing out notes, creating mind maps, using models, or reciting out loud. Okay, what are the 4 types of learning styles? Uh, Image result for discover and your learning styles. What are the four learning styles? The four core learning styles include: number 1, visual; number 2, auditory; number 3, reading; and number 4, writing and kinesthetic. Okay, these are the learning styles. I made it clear in the next slide. If you can see, it's question 2, discover and use your learning style. These are the 4 learning styles. Visual, that's must be, should be good at that. Auditory, read, write. Kinesthetic, good. A healthy body has a healthy mind. That is kinesthetic. You try to understand. You have to be very careful when you are under stress in a university for study or college. After 4 o'clock, do not, I will have a nap, and after sleeping for a few minutes, go to play volleyball, football, cricket. Okay, so that your health should be good. So now chapter 2, motivate yourself to study. Question 3. This chapter has 4 questions actually. Develop critical thinking and study skills. So this is the question 3. What is critical thinking and study skills? So critical thinking is the art of making clear reasoned judgment based on interpreting, understanding, applying, and synthesizing evidence gathered from observation, reading, and experimentation. This actual definition was given by Burns and Sinfield in 2016. in his book Essential Study Skills, the complete guide to success at university. It's fourth edition. I have taken it from there. So because we studied these books for our MPhil, PhD, and Master in English uh, studies, you should also consider it. How to develop critical thinking. There are different ways. I have given here one, two, three, four, 5 ways. Don't believe everything you are told. The first step to critical thinking is to consider more than one point of view. Don't believe everything you think. Ask questions, research deeper, evaluate your work. That's a critical thinking skill. Okay. And then question 4, chapter 2, motivate yourself to study. Paper 1, BS English. Paper 1, okay, study skills. That's the name of the paper, first semester. Chapter 2, motivate yourself to study. Last question. Question 4, adapt learning style to teaching method. Why is it important to adapt the to learning style? That's the questions one can ask. Why I should have a learning method according to the teaching style, teaching method. I should have a learning style. A learning environment and teaching methods that meet learners where they are, they can enhance the educational experience, provide a better connection to the material, and aid in retention of the material. Overall, presenting information in a variety of ways can make for a more meaningful learning experience. Okay, how does your learning style affect your teaching style? That's a part of question 4. Research results show that there is a correlation between learning and teaching styles. Using a learning styles based teaching is useful to differentiate instruction. The identification of students' learning approaches can help teachers to implement different strategies for the benefit of different learners. So, question 4 is continued. Adopt learning styles to teaching method. So question 4 has another question. What is the difference between learning style and teaching? Because you must understand what is the teaching style and what method this teaching style has, and what should be your learning style according to this teaching method. In direct definition, teaching is giving lessons about a particular subject to a group of learners, where learning is gaining knowledge by studying, being taught, and experiencing. Students can learn without teachers, but teachers can't teach without learners. So this is one of the definition. Adapt learning style to teaching method. How? 6 tips. You can adapt your learning style according to your teacher's method. Engage the as a teacher, I think I should engage the student in conversation about the subject matter. You must be engaged in the subject matter. Question students about the material. When the teacher is asking question, answer and take part in that question answering. Ask for oral summaries of material. Okay, have them tape lectures and review them with you. You must have taped lectures and you must review them and you answer your questions of your teacher. Have them tape themselves reviewing material list together. Sit in your group, and it is a center type of teaching, where in the group you sit and you it's not student centered teaching, it's a student centered teaching, so where you sit in a student between among other students and you learn, and you own the tapes and you learn, read material out to them, because you are in a group. So this is all that's I told you. This is all for today. Uh, we actually studied in the last lecture. This is lecture 3, first lecture. Lecture number 1. I discussed I discussed syllabus in BS English. Lecture 2, I discussed chapter 1, semester 1, paper 1, study skills, and chapter 1 and its question I discussed. Now in lecture 3 today, I discussed chapter 2, motivate yourself to study. That's the name of the chapter. And I discussed 4 questions of this chapter. First, I discussed the definition, motivate yourself. What is motivation? How can you motivate yourself? Then I discussed the first question, that is academic strengths and weaknesses. How can what you must know as a student, what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, and how can you remove your weaknesses, how can you make your strengths more I mean, you can make yourself excellent student with good strength. So this is what I told you. I gave you a lot of examples for academic weaknesses. How can you? I showed you a chart of strengths and weaknesses. And then question 2, for this chapter was discover and use your learning style. You must know your learning style because you are a student, your learning style affects your study. First, I gave the definition, what is a learning style. Then I gave you 4 types of learning style, okay? And I gave you a pie chart where I told you visual, auditory, read and write, and kinesthetic. These are the 4 learning styles you must have. Okay, you should open your eyes and your ears should be every time for noting lecture, and you can read. Reading should be good. Your writing, you should be good at writing, and you should be good at. I told you, a healthy body is a healthy mind. You should be good at your health is good. Your study will be good. Good. Okay. Now, question 3, I discussed with you that the question 3 was develop critical thinking and study skills. First, I introduced definition. What is critical thinking skill, and what is the study skill? So then I told you how to develop critical thinking skill. Okay, and after that, last question I discussed adopt learning style to teaching method. You must know what is teaching method and what is learning style according to that teaching method. So I discussed why is it important to adapt to learning styles, because according to your teacher you must have some learning styles. I give you definition what is a learning style. Then I ask you how does your learning style affect your teaching style. Your learning style, if the teacher is so much good and your learning style is passive, you are not able to cope with your teacher, and as a result you lose everything. So question 4 was continued where I discussed difference between learning styles and teaching styles. So you must understand what is the learn as a student learning style and teacher's teaching style. The difference you must understand. Then I gave you 6 tips for accommodating adapt learning style to teaching method. How can you accommodate? So that's all for today. If you think it's better, it's according to the demand, because now I received a lot of questions, emails from applied linguistics group, and Malik again present and presenting you free education. This is my free service for Pakistanis. Okay, so be a member of Applied Linguistics Group so that you should get regular uh, videos, and also wait for lecture 4, because if you have demand for lecture chapter 3, I will make questions for chapter 4 and share for lecture 4. So do not forget to subscribe this channel, and have a nice day. And remember and give your comments on these questions. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. That make me motivated for you. And when I have your questions, you ask for the next lesson. As I did yesterday, one for IELTS, because there was a demand from asked for IELTS, introduction to IELTS. So same is BS. I received last night a lot of questions, and from 2 3 weeks, I saw BS students continue. They were watching my first 2 videos, and they were searching on the internet. Where are the others? Where are the others? Because they are now preparing first semesters. We're near the exam now, because they have their exams in May, June, or July. Maybe they have, and they are now most of the students send me emails. Teacher, we have college exams now. We are preparing these 7 chapters now from for study skills. And some students ask me, teacher, they are in second semester. Teacher teaches phonetics, and I cannot start all together. I'm busy in my foreign job. No, not at all. I'm also busy in research. I'm a researcher, and also I'm busy in research. I'm a professor in a foreign university. So I can help you according to your demand. That is, you ask me, and I see there are a lot of emails. There are almost more than 700 emails I got, and I received, and some comments I received from Twitter and from LinkedIn. I received a lot of comments. So Insta also I received a lot of comments. So that's why I decided to have some friends on TikTok. They are commenting on my videos. So anyhow, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Don't forget to subscribe this channel. Wait for the next video for lecture 4.